Hello and welcome back to Brush Tips Painting with Cheri. Today we are going to do our cute little piglet painting. This is our little piglet right here. And with spring being here, we figured why not, summertime starting, we figured why not come in with some flowers and a cute little farm animal, make this little guy our happy little pig. I keep saying this little piggy. So today we are going to be using a few different brushes. We have our Big Daddy brush, which is our favorite one. This one helps us fill the canvas in wherever we need it. We also have this mommy one right here. We have a teenager one right here. This one's a round one. And we have a little tiny detail one. So we have 4 brushes. We're going to drop them right here into our water. Today our paint colors are red and pink. Now you can make pink with just red and white, which we'll get to. So you don't always have to have pink. We have phthalo green, phthalo blue, we have yellow, brown, black, and this pretty turquoise color for the background. Now you could pick whatever color background you want, but I do like the shades of the blue background with the pink. So I'm going to take that Big Daddy brush right now. I'm going to rinse that off. And make sure get all the water off and just by touching your paper towel here. I'm actually going to make a light pink background first. I'm going to take some white and take just a little soft bit of that pink. I just want to add 1 layer on of the pink. I want to add just a few different layers of the pink, so I'm going to start with the lightest one first. I'm going to let that dry while I paint my background. So I am just going to go ahead. First I drew it out. So you're going to draw like a pear shape for the face. You can see where my pencil marks are. And I'm going to even go over my eyes here because I want to make it look like they all kind of blend in together, okay? So I'm going to pull some more pink over and some more white over, make that shade again. And I'm going to add some pink for the ears. Do this pink right here for this ear. Let's do this outline, the pear shape, and just fill them in. I went over, and it's okay. Like you see where my pencil mark kind of made a gray hue. It's okay because little pigs are dirty. Little pigs get a little bit dirty playing in their little pig pen. Here's the back of the body. Now you see that we're going to cover all of this with flowers, so you don't have to come all the way down with it. Just fill it like this. I also like to get my sides just because I don't use frame every single time. Sometimes I just like to hang it up for the season, and so I don't want a frame on all of mine. It's a nice little accent for any room or any season. Maybe you just love pigs too. You just keep it up all year and put a frame on it. I'm going to bring this down here. If you're nervous, go ahead and just throw some paint on here. But like I said, we're going to fill it all with flowers and it'll be great. I'm also going to go a little bit deeper pink with the middle part of the ear. I'm going to put that on just like this. Now this little piggy went to Brush Tips Art Studio and Faith painted it. It's one of our artists there named Faith. She does great detailed paintings, but she did this one as one of our new arts, which is really fun. Look at how cute it is. Okay, so I'm going to let this little piggy dry. That's one of my favorite little nursery rhymes too. I'm going to rinse off my brush really good. And again, when you're rinsing off your brush, if you just touch the bottom of your cup with your bristles, it'll help break up some of that paint. And then I like to touch the side of my brush just to wring some of the water out. And I'm going to grab this blue turquoise color here and just start painting the background. We're going to add a little bit of color in that one. That one actually has green and a little bit of dark blue in it. But first, let's start with this one. When you get to the pig, when you get to this little piggy, kind of go around it like this, but then you can pull off from it too and make it so that it all goes in one way, one angle instead of going around it and then you have a roundabout your pig ear, okay? So you can go like that. If you get it on your ear, that's okay. White will cover it. Let it dry, cover it with white. We are also going to fix the background. I can't even talk. I'm like, fix the background of the pig too once we start to get all this paint on and it starts to dry. So you see, I just keep shading it, filling it all in where it needs to be filled in, just like this. And again, it's okay. If you go over your ear, it's okay. You can even take a brush right now and just run it over it and soften that up, and you see how it just went away. Take a paper towel and touch it. We're just gonna use my apron because that's easy. Because why not? Why not just ruin all of my clothes? So I'm gonna finish coloring this background in. Whoop, this easel tricks me. Another thing too, to add some depth to your background is using a medium. If you don't know what a medium is, it's actually like a thick gel, and you can make your own. I have a girl named Cheri who, down at one of the other studios in Florida, she actually makes her own medium with baby powder. She's like, I'll teach you how to do it. And then I keep forgetting to ask her. So I just buy it. And you can use a palette knife to put that on, or you can use a brush, whatever you would like. I also like to hit my sides too. Again, I like to do that, I think I mentioned, because if I'm not gonna leave my little piggy up all year round, I want to make sure I have my sides done so when I hang it up, it's not just white on the edges, okay? You can do it different color as well. We've done it where we've added black around the edges, maybe white, maybe a soft yellow. I know it's already white, so maybe just do a different color. And then I'm just gonna lightly feather it out. I gotta fill all this in. Look at this guy. He's over here like, my ear, it needs to touch. There we go. And I'm just pulling away. If you're not confident with your big brush, just grab your little brush. Grab your smaller one, a smaller flat one. It doesn't have to be perfect, okay? Because we are going to come in with, different colors. You would think I'd be able to talk about this painting by now. Let me hit this right here. So I'm gonna hit the bottom, feather it in like this. Again, pull off. Hit your sides. Hit all the sides. Hit more sides. I'm gonna let this background dry just for a second. I'm gonna grab that mama brush, okay? This mama brush, dry that off, and I'm gonna come in with that light pink again with a little bit more white. I'm gonna do a little bit more white because I want to cover up my boo-boos, okay? See that? My white is still, my blue's still a little bit wet. So I'll show you over here where it's a little bit drier. Okay, we have a little boo-boo right here. Grab some more white. See, now we have a happy little pig because our pig is like, thank you for covering up my boo-boos, covering me with paint. But I feel like it's okay because pigs are kind of messy again. Okay. Now, if you are nervous about the face and you feel like you've covered it up too much, just draw it back in. Grab a pencil, draw it back in. Chalk. I like to use white chalk because it's easy to erase right off the canvas. If you use a different colored chalk, sometimes it'll tint the canvas a little bit, but either way is okay. All right. Let this guy dry a second. let's grab our big brush and go back to the background so that, oh, look at that, I got caught on the easel. Let's grab that big brush so we can go back to the background. Rinse it off. I didn't rinse it off a lot. I got enough of the paint out that it's not gonna hurt it. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take some of this, set it to the side, grab a little bit of that green and just change the color a little bit darker turquoise, okay? And then I'm just lightly going to brush it on. I know it looks like it's making a mess, but we're not. Don't be nervous about this part, just smear it all on there. I'm also gonna take a little bit of that dark phthalo blue, mix a little bit in there too, pull it to the side, and look at that. If you are stressed out, like maybe you got too much blue in there and you really didn't want it, let it dry, go back over it, or just grab a big chunk of it, of that turquoise, and go over that. Whatever color you feel like you got too much of on there, okay? You can always take a blow dryer and blow dry it. You could just take a break, maybe grab a cup of coffee, maybe let the dog out, maybe switch the laundry. That might have been your cue if you forgot about the stuff in the washer, and let it dry. I hit that ear again, but that's okay because we can go right back over it. So this little piggy, a good thing to do is to think about your pig's name while you are painting. Once you get kind of personal with your paintings, it does help bring your painting to life when you actually get personal with it. Even when you're painting like a background or a scene. We did a tropical one before. We've done, you know, a fall landscape, Christmas ones. We just try to get into the spirit of whatever our painting is. You can even grab just a little bit of white and put it in there like this. Make it a cute little messy pig pen background. This also lightens up the background too. I am going to take my green and my blue and mix those over here because I really like this color as well. And I'm going to just add some white. I didn't do a lot of mixing. And look at this guy. I don't know how Faith came up with this one, but it's one of my favorites because I love the flowers. I love the summery feeling that it gives it. Maybe it's a new baby pig that was just born in the spring. And what should we name it? I mean, I just keep calling it this little piggy. This little piggy went to WCTV. This little piggy wanted to be painted. And now this little piggy, he lives here in Wadsworth. Boom. I'm gonna let my background dry. I'm gonna rinse out my brush because I'm going to switch to that pink again. You hear that water in there? I'm going to make pink with my red this time. So I'm gonna take some of this white and just pull it over to where my red is. It does create a different tone of pink. You see that? Compared to that one, this one's a little bit more neon. This one is a little bit more bright red. Okay, so I'm going to add some more white here. Actually, what I'll do is I'll actually just take a big glob of white and put it by there. Because then I can pull from it and change the colors as I'm going. Okay, I feel like this is going to be a lot of red on there, but wipe it off on the side of my brush. I'm going to grab a little bit more white and just start painting. I'm going to go inside the ear here with dark because we have a little bit darker ear over here. I'm going to go at a different angle. I want this little part of this ear part to connect. So if you want, grab your smaller brush during this. I'm going to throw some of this back here and then round out his face again. And round out this face. Your painting is probably not going to look where all of these marks are like mine does, and that's okay. Everyone's is going to be different. Everybody paints differently, and everybody wants different marks for their painting in different spots. So we do encourage you to get creative here. We encourage you to play around with the paint and where you feel like you want your pig to have heavier pinks or lighter pinks. So I'm just gonna go like this. I'm gonna keep the cheeks a little bit lighter right now. So I'm just gonna smear some white. I'm gonna grab some white here and just smear that white down in there. And you see I'm going at this angle, which is to the side, almost like a backwards C, because I want the cheeks to be puffy. If I went like this, then it looks like now my pig has straight face, okay? But I want it to have depth, so I'm gonna move my paint around to create depth. Then the pig nose, you can kind of go softer, but then round it out, okay? Let it dry. You can go a little bit softer here, but do an upside down U, okay? So the way that you're moving your brush and the way that you're moving your paint is the shape that you're going to get on your pig. When we did this, we went straight across, but this we're gonna go round. Now I'm gonna grab my mama brush here, and I'm going to reuse this pink here, and I'm gonna add just a little tiny bit of brown over to the side here because I do wanna have a couple marks where it looks a little dingy. A little dirty because, you know, sometimes those little piglets, they get into a messy situation. So I just want to have a dirty pink. You can even grab some more of this pink here. I'm not going to blend it all the way in. See how I didn't blend it? I'm just kind of smearing it out. And I'm just going to start to add just a cute little fur marks. I know pigs don't really have fur, but we want them to have a messy kind of, you know, sometimes people, you see little piggies with little hairs on them. They all have hair on them, but you don't really ever see it. So I'm just gonna add a few of these on there. Maybe fill up the bottom a little bit. I am gonna pull just a tiny, tiny little bit more brown in. If it's too much, it's okay. Just grab some of that white, some of that pink again, and just go right over it. See how it just makes that a softer brown? And you can always just kind of smear it out with your finger as well, if you're worried about adding too much brown. I'm gonna pull some white over here, so I'm gonna go lighter pink. And maybe a little lighter pink here. I still want it to have a little bit of a darker outline. So I'm gonna take just a little bit. Oop, that was too much. That's okay, grab the white again. Grab the white and fill it. This little piggy went to the pig pen where he ate a bunch of food. I'm gonna take some more of this brown, and I am actually going to outline the nose a little bit. So I want it to have more of a harder line so that you can determine where the nose and the mouth is. If you just went straight pink on it, it's not gonna give it an outline. It's not gonna make it pop a little bit. So just go ahead and take a little bit of that brown. Let this form the little piggy face. And I'm also gonna add a little bit brown in here, a little bit of brown in the ear here as well. And you can even softly just add a little bit of the brown around the outside too. If you have to add more, go ahead and grab some more like this. And I'm going to add some to the back too. I don't want it to look like these two are together, so I am going to take just a real soft, light red and then a little soft red here. I'm going to let that dry. I'm going to come back in with the white. I'm going to add a little bit over here so that they kind of match. Separate the ear because we don't want the ear to look like it's coming out of the front of its head. And I'm going to let this dry a second. I'm going to switch to this teenage brush here, which is this little round one. And I'm going to paint the eyes really quick. So it's like a straight line, then an upside down U. I'm going to fill that in because I want these guys to dry so that I'm able to put my little dots on and bring my little piggy to life. So fill this in. And look at him, he's already looking so happy. Probably because he got to go to the market. Or he got roast beef, we don't know. We don't really know which one he got. Look at how cute he looks already. I think that eye's a little bit wide, but that's okay. I'm gonna rinse this brush again, and now what I'm gonna do is start to add different layers of pinks into the ear as well. And then we get to start putting our flowers on. Take a little bit of white. Now you can add as much depth in as you would like. I'm gonna soften up this red. Soften this up. Bring in a little bit more white over here. Oh, I went really dark pink, but that's okay, we'll let it dry. I'm gonna paint inside the nose. And the nose is a little bit darker with a little bit of brown. There's a little tiny bit of black that I put in there. I'm gonna fill this in, let this dry, and then we'll hit the outline again. It's almost like an upside down heart. So if you need to, you can flip your canvas around and then make a heart shaped, kind of like this. Okay, set that right there. I'm gonna rinse off that mama brush again, and I'm gonna start with the flowers. The flowers are super, super easy. You're just gonna start filling them in. All I do is big circles like this. Okay, let's do another one right here. I like to add white behind them. We're gonna take some blue here, add some big flowers right here. And again, you're gonna want this to dry in between. We don't have a lot of dry time here, but if you just fill it in with some white and some yellows, just make a bunch of flowers all at once, let it dry, and then you can come in with more depth. When you want to make your leaves too, you can go ahead and rinse that that brush off and grab some white or some yellow and some green, mix that together here, grab some white in there, make it a little bit softer. And then all you do for the leaves is just like this, okay? You can even add some little squigglies, maybe another little leaf right here. You can let that dry. I do like to add just a couple little things in between. And remember, you can always pause this too, pause the show. You can come back at it later. I'm gonna make a yellow flower right here. Oops, I went a little green. Smeared my green in. But you would wait for it to dry. I want a little bit of red mixed with my middle part. I'm gonna use the back of my brush and just smear that on like that. Let it dry. Let it dry, let it dry. I was gonna grab some more white. So what you can do too to make purple, if you didn't add purple, is take some blue, mix it with a little bit of red and pink, and you're gonna get a really, really pretty color purple. And you can just start making purple flowers as well. And look at that. I like to just do quick swirl motions and then some dots in the middle. See how we did that there? You can go over this one. You can come in with the different colors and just start smearing them on there. You want all your flowers to kind of connect, but you're getting the idea of how to do this. Now we're going to bring our pig to life really quick and add a little dot for the eyeball. And let's add a cute little spot for the nose, like this, and a cute little smile. And just like that, you have a cute little piggy. I know that there's some more detail that you have to put into it, and that's okay. And you can always message us too for some more tips on this painting. But don't forget to own your masterpiece when you're all done. What I like to do is just take my little tiny brush. You can even grab a Sharpie too. And I like to roll it in my paint and then come in right here. I just put CM for my initials with a cute little circle around it. And now I've owned my masterpiece. So thank you for painting with us, and we can't wait to see you again.
You are watching WCTV, Wadsworth Community Television.